Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. My next guests have co-authored a wonderful book. It is called Next Station Life. Joining me are co-authors Steve Georgopoulos and Jarrod Nichol. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here. Steve, you and I were just talking how we'd run into each other in events over the years. In the last event, we ran into each other, and you said to me, "Hey, I've written a book. I've co-authored a book with a great friend." Tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind this book, Steve.
I had a lifelong dream to write a book, and over the past 10 years, I selectively told people just so they could prompt me. And I had a few people more than prompt me. They said, "When are you going to write the book?"
Right.
Then I met Jarrod, who I've known all his life, at a very sad event, his funeral of his uncle. And we chatted, and I said, "I'm working on a couple of projects." And he said, "We should get together." And guess what? I did call him, and all of this took place on Zoom. 3 years.
3 years.
Had it not been for Jarrod, the book might not have been out today.
So what is the inspiration then, Jarrod? You guys started to talk, and Steve shares this idea with you. Hey, I've always wanted to write a book. Where did this idea come from, and what is it?
So what's really interesting with this is, Steve, and for everyone watching this, Steve loves community work.
Yeah.
He loves inspiring other generations. And when the two of us just started to talk about this idea of writing a book, the very first thing was about community and was about youth.
Okay.
And so we started to talk more and more. Steve, lots of stories. And so that really inspired me to say, well, okay, what if we went in that direction? What if we actually talked about how powerful it is to work with so many different generations? And that kind of led to this.
Yeah, and Steve, part of this is sort of what you call sort of the power of working, of cross-mentoring with multiple generations. Why, over the years I've known you, you've always tried to connect with young people. Where did that come from? Why did you feel that was so incredibly important?
Young and old.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think of Rabbi Bolton.
Yeah.
I think of Gene Piggott. I think of Max Keeping. And I think of this young man's grandfather. So yesterday at our launch, we had a silent generation, a 92 and a half year young person. Mm-hmm. And about a year ago, I had young Emma, who is 8 years old, who was interviewed by Sam LaPrade live on radio.
Yeah.
She put me to shame. So there's 7 generations, and I know you like to have people learn on your show, so I'm not going to tell you all of them because I'll need my glasses, but there's the silent generation, there's the alpha. Jarrod is a zennial, which is part of the millennials. To answer your question, there's amazing potential to learn from youth. Amazing, because by the time I find my glasses, they've pulled out their device and done whatever, right? And I'm still, how do you turn it on, or what's the password? So I think it's our responsibility as older people to not discriminate about what young people do or say or whatever, and work together.
And I couldn't agree more, because I just on a personal note, just the other day I was somewhere, I won't exactly say where it is, but there was somebody complaining about the younger generation and using all these kind of insulting adjectives, and I actually stopped them for a moment and said, maybe you're not in the position I'm in, but I've met so many incredible young people that are doing amazing things, and perhaps the media has some responsibility where you oftentimes share some of the negative stories that are out there, and we don't do a good enough job sharing the positive stories. Jarrod, is that part of what you guys talk about in this book?
That's exactly
is communication, respect, not just for your elders, respect for every generation, right?
No, that's exactly it. We actually came up, Steve lived by a model that sort of was developed in the writing of this, and you just named 2 of them.
Okay.
So communication, patience, and respect, okay? CPR. And go ahead, say your piece on CPR.
We wanted people to remember that.
Right.
So CPR, it's a new meaning of CPR, and there's an H. So communication, two-way, patience, and respect. So when people say those words that are unkind, Rabbi Bulka again,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. The H comes with history. Now, the respect, when I told one of my older colleagues, he said, Steve, respect has to come first. Doesn't work that way today. You need to communicate, you need to be patient, and you earn the mutual respect.
And we developed this through the writing of the book because I'll be honest, I'm a much different generation than what Steve's from.
Right.
And so as I was going through and we were working together, the communication was key. And let me tell you, I had a lot of patience, but I have an equal amount of respect for Steve.
Right,
And it really
right.
did shine through the book. And I think it's one of the lessons and one of the takeaways from the book.
You brought a couple of other, I just have about 90 seconds, but I just wanted to talk about what you brought along here and why. You brought this photo along.
That's History 2006, Notre Dame High School, business, education, community working together. So that you asked, what about youth? That's where it started.
Right. And then this one here.
St. Gregory's Catholic School. Emma is there. Miss Mahusky is there. It's the Social Entrepreneur Program. These youth raised money. They looked at the United Nations Sustainability Goals. And one last comment. The book could be picked up locally at Pantry Plus and Books on Beechwood.
And-
We'd like to support Buy Local.
Yeah.
And Amazon.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone's putting that, and I know what I love that you've done too. You've really used some real world examples, right? Even here in our community of how you can share all of those things that we talked about, right? Respect and communication and history. Gentlemen, I could sit here and talk to you for another hour. I really appreciate the time. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you both. Again, the book is called Next Station Life, Switching to the Other Side of the Tracks. You can get it at, as you just said, Books on Beechwood. And if you want to, you can get it online at Amazon as well. We'll be right back after this.
Summer